Today I'm going to tell you some fascinating things about Donald Trump and his connection to India. Well, hi again, and thanks for following the channel. And those that follow this channel regularly will know that I've been to India. In fact, I've just come back only a couple of days ago, so I feel a bit bleary-eyed with it all now. An amazing, amazing experience again. Been to an ashram in Kerala with Sharavana Baba, who you'll see on Friday's release of the videos, which is all pretty amazing. I mean, some funny things happened there to me as well, and I've blogged all that, and you'll see some incredible stuff. But those of you who know my work will know that I have explored the ancient oracles in India, and I found my own oracle that was quite amazing, because it told me all about my future and my past. It told me incredible things about my life that absolutely nobody could have known, including naming the name of my father, the name of my mother. It knew my name, it knew my birth date, and I'd put in place all sorts of proxies so that they couldn't identify who I was. You know, I did it through fake email addresses, fake Skype addresses, through other people, so that there's no way they could have looked me up. And I'd been researching this years before the internet came along anyway, and found these incredible things. And I talked about it all in my book, Messages from the Universe, which hopefully you've read. If not, go and get it, because that's where I really do tell the story of this incredible oracle. And of course I went to India as well later, and did all the remedies in this was a Naadi oracle. Now, these oracles, there's a load of fake ones out there, so don't go trying to look them up on the internet and find your own, because you won't find it that way. You have to go to India and find it, and you have to track down the right ones, because 99% of them are fakes. Okay, but with that in mind, those that know my work will know that I properly researched these, and I've been using people that have been studying these oracles for their whole life, and to find the right solutions. Now, Donald Trump's oracle. I've not used the Naadi for this. I've used what's called the Bhrigu Samhita. Now, this is an old oracle that is, again, like the Naadi, they reckon it goes back thousands of years, tens of thousands of years in the case of the Naadi, back to the old ancient civilizations of Kumuri Kandam, which was the sunken, what some call Lemuria, which was the sunken sort of continent almost size, or huge anyway, area that sank south of India. And I saw, if you read people like Graham Hancock, his books about the undersea worlds and things like that, and discoveries of these things, absolutely fascinating. And these things do come up in the Naadi oracles as well, which is so fascinating. You know, it's saying that these things come from these ancient times. Well, anyway, let's get back to the topic, what we're here for today, which is the Donald Trump stuff. Because Donald Trump is obviously at this present time in India. He's been visiting like the ashrams of, I think it was Gandhi and people like that, and been really embraced by the Indian people. And he too has embraced India, hasn't he? In a big way. He seems to look really at ease there. He seems to really enjoy India in a big, big way. And there's a reason for this. Because in the Bhrigu Samhita, in his Bhrigu Samhita, now as I said, I'm not going to reveal the special secret stuff in this, because, you know, these oracles were written for a spiritual purpose. And again, my objective with doing all this type of work ultimately is, please, Donald Trump, if you do see these oracles, I'd love to see these videos, I'd love to send you the Bhrigu Samhita for you, because it will give you insights into your life, and how to make your personal life better, and to lead you on a good course. And it contains, like everybody's oracle, it contains good stuff and bad stuff, and it tells you good things about yourself and the bad things about yourself. And it's not for me to go putting this out there, you know, all that side of it. But I don't think it would be unfair to share a little bit here of something that I think is quite relevant, because this is not quite as personal, but it is something quite important. And maybe if you've just heard this might be enough for you to get an understanding. But India, for Donald Trump, is tremendously important, because in the Bhrigu Samhita, it tells us here that he had a previous life in India, and not just an ordinary previous life either, but a previous life of a very high level. And when I read this, I was absolutely shocked, well, you know, pretty shocked that this should be about him. Now, there's negative stuff here too, and I'm not going to read the negative stuff out, but in detail anyway. But I'm just going to tell you one thing. It said here, the Bhrigu says, "O Shukra, in his former life, he was a priest in a Shiva temple." And so it talks about Donald Trump had been in a previous life a priest in a Shiva temple. And from the hints in this, you know, like I said, I'm not going to read it all out to you because I don't think that's fair. This is for private stuff. But he had a very high standing, a very high spiritual standing, believe it or not. But it also talks here about how he fell from grace. And often the reason that they put the past lives into the Bhrigu Samhita and the Naadi oracle is so that we can identify the mistakes that we've made. So it's basically identifying your sins. So this happens for everybody's oracle, ultimately. That's what the oracle's about. It's not a fortune telling thing in the normal way. Although it tells you your future, it tells you your future based upon what you did in previous lives. And in in Donald Trump's case, he did some rather bad things during the period of Shivaratri. Now, I've been to India now to be there for Shivaratri. Now, Trump has arrived just after Shivaratri, and I find this quite fascinating that the oracle has actually said that the things that went wrong in his past life went wrong at exactly this period of Shivaratri. And it was just after the Shivaratri that really bad things happened in his life. Now, I'm not going to go on to tell you that because it's not for public digestion. But it does say, however, you know, to help him overcome such bad deeds, he is advised to do a puja to Lord Shiva every day. Now, he is in Shiva temples occasionally, and if he did a simple puja to Shiva, particularly at this time, it would help clear his past life negativity. So if you're watching from India, people, and I know there's a lot of Indian followers to this channel, it would be fantastic if Donald Trump could do a puja to Lord Shiva, preferably every day, it says. And on every Maha Shivaratri, that is once a year, he's got to do the Rudra Abhishekam and also the Kalasarap Puja. If he does those two pujas while you're there in India, and, you know, it's all part of the being in India thing, do those two pujas, and there will be a great deal of opportunity to remove the risks in his life, it says. It will help him not to be humiliated. So there you go, that's what it says. Now also, I will also tell you a little more about Donald Trump, because it talks here in his Samhita, Bhrigu Samhita, about other possibilities of greatness that he can achieve after his presidency. And these are linked to spirituality. And I wouldn't be surprised if this India trip has a major influence on Donald Trump's thinking at the moment. And I do hope this message ultimately gets to you, Donald Trump. I'm saying it to you personally because I would love it to get to you. when he's finished his second presidency, you know I've predicted about all this, but as he finishes his second presidency, he will take on a spiritual path that will shock the world. That's what it says in there. Not quite to those words, because I don't want to spill out all the little details. But he will do something on a great spiritual level. Now, whether he turns to Christianity or whether he turns to Hinduism for some reason, but he will take a spiritual path. And this will shock everybody, because, you know, that's the last thing we see in a man like this. It talks in here also all about the great wealth he makes from property and the things and the connections with his mother, and some of the things that he would do, and all these problems he's had with impeachment, and some of the good stuff and some of the bad stuff, and the sort of incredible success he's capable of getting, and other ways that he can get further great success. But I'm putting it out there so that when it actually happens, you've heard it here first, that Donald Trump will take a spiritual path after his presidency that will shock the world. Okay, so that's going to be a long time hence, and you'll see this video hopefully in the future when it happens and everybody's shocked. We know it will happen. Okay, well, I'm saying these things in the hope that this helps, you know, in the hope that it, because, you know, people say, oh, you're all for Donald Trump. I'm not necessarily all for Donald Trump. I think he's got very good and very bad, you know, and I'm neutral. I'm not even a voter in America. But in every spiritual leader, every political leader, rather, there is the hope that they will find a spiritual path. Every single one of them. You know, they have a calling from destiny. And if some way people like myself that are interested in spirituality can nudge them even a tiny little bit onto a spiritual path, then it helps the whole world. And I'm not saying a religious path, I'm saying a spiritual path, a spiritual opening. And that should be the same for all of us, because let's face it, that is the reason we are here. We think the world out there is real. It's not. It is, but it's not. It's kind of all me, all you, all divinity. And everything that's happening in the world is actually also a process of something that's happening within ourselves. In the world within us and the world without us are the same. And if a person is, and the reason we're here, all of us ultimately, and we all have certain variations of this, but the main reason that everybody's here, the core reason, is to awaken, to become spiritually awake, to become a spiritual person. Right? That doesn't mean being a goody-goody. That means opening, becoming aware, becoming awake, becoming a fully conscious human being. And so I say these things in the hope that one more leader could be on a spiritual path. And I would say that about everybody, whether it be, you know, a tyrant or a saint. We all have to find our way through, and all of us, because we're here on earth, have a certain amount of karma. And that's what things like the Naadi and the Bhrigu Samhita talk about. They give us the way to find our karmic problems and to negate those problems and put us on the best path we can possibly find in life. Okay, that was a little update. Now don't forget, follow the channel, because coming up I've got a lot of my stuff from my last visit to India, which I think you'll find equally fascinating. Different type of things, not oracles, although there have been a few predictions given to me by the holy men. So keep following the channel. So do follow this channel. You'll get things first if you become a patron. So if you become a patron of this website, of this YouTube and the website, go to the Patron website and you can get lots of extras. And actually, by becoming a patron, you help the whole thing we're trying to do here. And remember also that if you're interested in having your own future seen, not through these oracles, because I don't offer that as a service, but we have psychic services on the website where you can get a reading with myself, my wife, and if there's any spaces, and with our team of amazing phone psychics. So do connect with us through the website, and by doing that you also, just like a patron, help to support the work we do so that we can keep making these videos. Okay, well, thanks for joining us. Don't forget, if you're new, click that little bell thing down there below and you'll get updates every time we put a new video online. Okay, thanks for joining us again. Look out for my new stuff from India. See you soon. Bye for now.